republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome, everyone. I'll move on to open forum. We do not have any requests. If there's anybody here this evening that wants to talk about anything that's not on the agenda or that a trustee is not going to bring up, now's the time. Seeing none, I'll close open forum. And I'll move on to reports. And my report's going to start off with I can say former sergeant because you retired last week, right? Yeah, all right. Well, we have, I don't know if it's enjoyable, but she'll enjoy her retirement. We have Sergeant Patty Smallwood, who we're going to recognize tonight, and ask Chief, if both chiefs want to come to the ex-chief.
Doesn't look too excited.
Tom, I already asked him.
Yeah, I gave you.
Yeah, I asked, yeah.
Well, should we get Patty up here too, I think? Patty? So tonight we are celebrating Sergeant Smallwood's retirement. She started in 1998 with the Westmont Police Department, so she has 24 total years in law enforcement. She started with Carroll Stream. Prior to that with the United States Army. So she has been literally serving her country her entire adult life. She ended her career with the police department as a sergeant in charge of administration, and I would definitely say a thankless job, very much behind the scenes job, making sure that all the officers are where they're supposed to be, even when they forget. So Patty, I think had an opportunity that kind of came out of nowhere that was too good to pass up, and we wish her all the best in her retirement from the village. But certainly she's still in the workforce and still doing very good work out in the field with an insurance company. So, with that, Patty, happy retirement.
I just have one question.
We'll ask.
You did to me. How old were you when she started? Or what grade of high school or where were you?
She started with police work for here. I was 26.
Oh, okay.
1986.
Oh, 86, I was 14.
Because I was still in diapers when I started, so that's why I was trying to get in. So.
You say anything, or you're good?
No, I was just saying, I also too, as the chief mentioned, and I'll be very quick because we all want to go home. I remember with Patty, and she worked one huge case where you received a national recognition for the case you worked on from an insurance fraud case. And I enjoyed all my years. I think I worked with you longer than Jim, but thank you for all the service you gave all the residents and ourselves, and I wish you well as much as well too. So.
Patty, I'd like to present to you, before you get a chance to say anything, from the Village of Westmont, we're honors Patricia Smallwood, Sergeant, member of the Village's Police Department, March 25th, 1998 to August 25th, 2017. In recognition of over 19 years of dedicated service to the community, may retirement be enjoyable for you and filled with many happy years of pleasure. Congratulations. Now you get to talk. Oh, here's the money.
Money, all right.
I didn't have much to say. Just thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure working for the village all these years. Wonderful people, wonderful police force. I couldn't have asked for better people to work with. It's like family to me. So thank you all.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Congratulations.
Okay, kid. Good luck.
Thank you.
Who was chief when you got hired?
Zipcheck. I think.
Don't forget to come back and see us.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
And congratulations, and thank you for your service. At this point, I'd ask Mike Ramsey to come up to the podium. We signed our sister city agreement a 3 weeks ago, and we came up with a logo, and Mike's going to show everybody that this evening.
Yeah, I reached out to our sign division technician, Jimmy Wright, who's a wizard at making fantastic signs. He's been doing it for a long time for the village. And I asked him to do this in a short amount of time. In fact, we don't have circle blanks like this readily, so we had Virgil, our mechanic, cut a circle out of a bigger sign that we had so we can create this for tonight. But we're looking into installing a bunch of these signs throughout the village to promote our sister city agreement. If you go into other towns that have sister city agreements, you'll see signs like this all over. So I was just bringing this tonight as an example to see what you guys thought. If you'd like the sign, if you'd like to see us do it a different design or different rectangular, or triangle or whatever, but this is what we came up with. We thought this looked the best because the logo is a circle, so we figured we'd make the sign a circle. So I don't know if you guys like this or not.
Nice, I love it.
So we will we'll pick some designated areas, obviously through town, and we'll put up a few of these signs throughout town. I'll work with the manager, and he's really good with signs, so he'll tell us where the best locations are, and we'll install them there. Okay?
Thank you.
Nice.
The couple other things I'll mention, but we'll talk about it maybe at the next meeting. In October, we have the Last Straw event on October the 1st, and then the Haunted Forest, October the 21st, which is also the downtown walk. So those events we'll talk about a little bit more, but I wanted to at least mention it now. Those are the next couple special events coming up. And I turn it over to Clerk Simsky.
Well, right off the bat, I would like to call for an executive session to review, accept, and release executive session minutes 2C21 of the Open Meetings Act. So I wanted to be sure I had that in your memory. You couldn't leave right away. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day. I wish it was Memorial Day or we were starting summer again, but everything fun comes to an end. So.
Thank you. And just for point of reference, there's going to be two other items for the executive session, but before we go into it, I'll mention what they are. I'll move over here. Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. Two things this evening. One is through Westmont First, there's a baby drive with Bank Financial to support People's Resource Center, and that begins September 4th and 27th, September 4th of this year. Please do what you can for that, but you can find more information at Bank Financial. And then our thoughts and prayers this week have been with the people suffering under Hurricane Harvey. There's a few efforts out in the village now to give them support, so I ask everybody there to do what you can to give those people some comfort. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Little.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of items. Tonight is our very last cruise night of the year. So if you're watching TV, turn it off and get out there. The theme for tonight is movie car night. We've got a few of those out there. We've got some car clubs out there as well. So get out there and enjoy the weather. It's a beautiful night for that. We do have an administration committee meeting coming up in September on the 28th. So it's held in this room, so we'll come out for that one at 4:30. Also, I want to let everyone know that on September 10th, there's a 5K run for the Prostate Center, and if you want to join in on that one, it's going to be up on Pasquinelli Drive. Check out the website on the city for that. We can get a lot of information there. Also, the U.S. Luge tryouts are in Westmont, September 16th and 17th. They're going to be held on Cass Avenue between Richmond and 55th Street. I think it's a really big opportunity if you have young pre-teenagers that want to get involved in working with the Olympic team. This is a really nice way to get started. It's a lot of fun. A lot of kids are looking forward to it. I do know that the Public Works is having an open house in conjunction with the fall plant sale on October 14th. And you need to come out and see the Public Works and get to know everyone. There's a lot of things that are happening, and this is a great opportunity for us to talk about it. The trick-or-treat trails and caskets on Cass, October 21st from 11 to 1. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Nero.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few items. Our next Public Safety Committee meeting is Thursday, September 14th at 4:30 PM. And then I'd like to call up either Deputy Chief Riley or Chief Gunther up to talk about our upcoming Patriots Day ceremony and a few other items. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Nero. The Patriot Day celebration will be on Monday, September 11th at 6:30 PM at the 500 North Cast in the Fire Bay. We've done it every year since September 11th, 2001. So we want to keep the tradition up and come out. We'll get you in and out in probably about an hour. It's also the night of the Citizens Police Academy alumni meeting, so they will all be in attendance. Speaking of the CPA, we have our first class is starting September 27th. We currently have about 20 people registered. We'd like to have between 30 and 40 for a good solid class, and with a couple weeks left to register, we still would like to have a few more people join. We're finalizing the schedule, and it's looking good, very hands-on. We do mock traffic stops, crime scene technician. We do mock scenarios where we put simunition weapons in people's hands. A lot of good education, homicide night, so please sign up if you can. It's on Wednesday nights, usually starting at 6 or 6:30 and go until 9 o'clock. And we also have a shred event coming up to support Special Olympics. That'll be on Saturday, September 23rd at the police station from 9 a.m. to noon. We are asking for $5 per box as a donation. All the money does go to Special Olympics, and it's great to shred your important, valuable personal information so you don't become a victim of identity theft, which is always still prevalent in today. And I think that's all I have. DC?
Thanks, Chief. So I just wanted to give a recap of Fire Truck Night last Thursday. It was a beautiful evening. The mayor ordered the weather. We had over 30 fire vehicles downtown along with 100 firefighters and EMA volunteers. It was a large turnout for the fire department. We thought it was one of the best that we've ever had. We also have coming up the Senior Car Care Clinic on September 23rd at our headquarters station, and the same day that the shred event's taking place from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Senior Car Care Clinic last year looked at 200 vehicles that came through the bay of the firehouse, and they're checking for fluids, belts, hose, tires, condition, lights, etc. So it's a great time for our seniors to take advantage of this free clinic. And if you have any questions regarding the clinic, you can call 630-719-6682. And the last thing I have, Trustee Nero, is Fire Department Open House. We're looking forward to another great open house this year. That'll be held on Saturday, October 7th at the headquarters station, 6015 South Cass, from 1 to 3. It's a great opportunity to bring the family in. We'll have a side-by-side burn cell showing the vehicles off to the public, and also there'll be some kids' games in the slide pole for everyone to enjoy. So please support that and come on out.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And
Thank you.
Chief Gunther, can you mention real quick the exchange site you have at the police department where individuals can come and exchange?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We have, within the last month and a half, 2 months ago, we created a safe exchange zone. So it's 2 parking spots that are dedicated on the south side of the police station. They're very clearly marked. You can't miss them. There's yellow signs, and then the parking stalls are blue. The safe exchange zone is used for anybody that needs, feels uncomfortable with meeting somebody after maybe selling a product on eBay, and just for a little extra level of security. You absolutely can use the safe exchange zone at the police station. Everything's on video. Yeah, it's monitored. So we will have, and obviously there's police officers walking back and forth, so it should be very safe. You don't have to let us know that you're there. You certainly can if it's during regular business hours. You can walk in and let the records window know that you're there. If not, you can use the call box after hours to let us know that you're there, but it's not required. And so far, I've had numerous people use that zone and been getting very good reviews on it. So please use it.
Very good, thank you.
Sorry, I did have one more item that I forgot. It'll post up here. So as a few of you know, we now belong on the Department of Defense website. The picture that you see on the wall here is 2 generators that 2 of our members, Lucas from the garage and one of my captains, just went to Fort Scott, Iowa last week to pick up 2 of these Department of Defense generators that are given to the village for free. Each generator is $43,000, so it's $86,000, and they're going next Tuesday, September 5th to Duluth, Minnesota to pick up 2 more of them. We're working exclusively with Virgil and the garage to possibly outfit these. It's mainly used for the fire department, but we can certainly share them with anybody in the village, so we hope to put a little paint job on these in the winter and put the Westmont Fire Department sticker on them. We can use them for the red, white, and barbecue. If truly we had something that's going on in Houston, in our own town, or Liberty Park, we could throw these out and people could power their sump pumps or refrigerators or anything. And they have certain 220 to 110 outlets. We're going to try to get them retrofitted a little more. But currently, as of today, we have received over $250,000 of free donations from the Department of Defense website. And they are just giving this stuff away. And I know they've just also, the governor just approved the police to be on part of this website to start getting free items for the police. So we're certainly going to talk with Chief Gunther and, get police involved. But it's really a great website to bring, free merchandise. These are brand new motors for the village to use in the event that we have some sort of disaster, so.
Great, nice. Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thanks.
We'll move over to Trustee Addington.
Thank you. Couple of things. First one is, just remind everybody, I think you all know it by now, this is the first full week of our grammar schools and junior highs and high schools back in session. So please watch out for the school buses and the kids walking. That's always important. The other is that next Wednesday, which is September the 6th, the Economic Development Committee will be meeting here at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's Wednesday, 9 o'clock. We meet in the conference room behind me here. Everyone is invited. There's always a lot of things on the agenda. So please come if you have some interest. And then staying with the economic development theme, I think everyone knows that Hobby Lobby was closed for a little while. There was a serious water main break, and then some rumors started to fly that they were leaving town. They're not leaving town as far as we know. We've checked with a lot of different people, and they are now reopened. So that problem is solved, and Hobby Lobby is back in business. But, so far as we know, any rumor that they're leaving us is unfounded. The last thing is we got an invite on September 27th. Aspire Living will be doing their grand opening celebration. And that's over at 407 West 63rd Street. If you get a chance, it's a beautiful facility. We've seen some of the things that they're doing, but they're finally open. They've been really waiting for the certificate that they have to have from the state because it's a senior facility. But they've got that now, so hopefully they'll be moving along. And then the last thing is strategic plan has been meeting. Staff has been meeting. We will be getting together in November again, and then there will be a full annual report that'll be done probably at the December meeting. So with that, I am done, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Guzzo.
Thank you, Mayor. Prior to our Public Works meeting, we had a Finance Committee meeting. We are discussing funding options for a new Public Works facility as we continue to look at avenues that are available to us. Then the next thing is our next Finance Committee meeting is going to be October 12th here in this room at 4 p.m. And then last thing, I just want to do a public service announcement. Once again, I want to remind everybody, if you see sirens and lights, please move to the right. I was driving down, actually coming home from work, and I can't believe how many people ignore the sirens, ignore the lights. Please, so once again, pull to the right for sirens and lights, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Marie said, we had a Public Works Committee meeting tonight, and a lot of it was focused around the new Public Works facility and giving Mike and his staff direction. Secondly, Noriel updated us on the alley, what I call the Manning School Alley, is going to be done here tomorrow. Friday will be completed and open. They'll still have the leg of Linden Street, but we encourage everyone to take a look at that project. That is a great improvement to our downtown, and hopefully we can continue with the remaining alleys as the years come. Also, Richmond Street is getting dangerously close to wrapping up. They oiled it today, and I believe they'll be blacktopping it shortly. And then also North Warwick, the water main project is moving along there at Noriel's direction. From the Environmental Improvement Commission, we're working on updates for the village website to assist people with information regarding what they can and cannot recycle, Westmont bike trails mapping, and recently added more recycling locations. And if I'll just use the overhead here, we have an exciting program coming up in October. It's a, it's a fall native tree and shrub sale. This again is an Environmental Improvement Commission's program. It's going to be October 14th from 8 to noon, and the last day to place orders is October 6th. Fall initiatives including pumpkin composting and a plant sale will be announced soon. Proceeds from the plant sale will benefit the Richmond Gardens. Richmond Garden Street, the hives are a-buzzing, and the public is more than welcome to stop by and check out their activity. The two villages, Clarendon Hills and Westmont, are ironing out the details of the intergovernmental agreement for Richmond Gardens, and following that, the board will adopt the IGA as a resolution. Clarendon Hills is working with a pro bono engineer and designer to evaluate the current budget for Richmond Gardens and bring costs down so groundbreaking can begin in the fall. So ongoing, exciting program over at the Richmond Gardens, and one of the things we talked about Public Works today also was possibility of sidewalks that we're working with. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Good. I've noticed more bees in my neighborhood lately. So I'd call Larry Forsberg up, our Executive Director of the Chamber.
There we go.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to introduce tonight Ms. Janelle Robinson, who's the Executive Director of the Hope's Front Door, and one of our board members, Mike Martinez, and they're here to talk to us about a brand-new, really exciting program that's coming to downtown Westmont. So I'll turn it over to Janelle.
Hi, thanks for this opportunity to talk with you guys. Again, my name is Janelle Robinson with Hope's Front Door, and we are located in Downers Grove, but we serve the surrounding villages. Our primary goals are to address the immediate needs of our neighbors experiencing a financial or health crisis, and then connect them with information and solutions to make long-lasting changes. We do so by offering basic necessities like food and transportation vouchers, access to medication, dentists, eye exams, and eyeglasses. And then we link them with education and empowerment services in the form of our jobs and financial literacy program. Last year, we served over 5,100 people, and Westmont represented 17% of that number. So, on October 5th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m., we will be holding the Traveling Feast fundraiser. Attendees will be traveling throughout downtown Westmont to Absolutely Delicious, Dolce, Neat, Uncle Bub's, and Vincitori's to sample some of their signature dishes, and at the same time supporting our financial literacy program, which promotes the principles related to budgeting and saving money that will in turn allow families to become more self-sufficient and end the cycle of living crisis to crisis. For more information about our organization and the upcoming event, people can go to hopesfrontdoor.org. Mike?
Thank you. My name is Mike Martinez. I'm a board member of Hope's Front Door, and I'm here as a resident of Woodridge. I have lived in Woodridge for more than 44 years, and about 5 years ago, a friend of mine asked me, would you consider joining Hope's Front Door and the board? And frankly, I knew very little about it. And I went to a meeting, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made, joining this very nice organization, very good organization. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Hope's Front Door, but one of the purposes of expanding our net to include Westmont in our fundraising effort is to bring residents of Westmont to meet and understand Hope's Front Door. Many organizations support needy families, financial support. But I think what's important about our organization is to understand that our mission of engage, educate, and empower is what may be a slightly different than some other organizations that we work with, by the way. We work with PATS and other organizations too. Because we're trying not only to help these folks take care of their immediate needs, but look into their future and see if there is a way that they can increase their confidence and take care of their families. So that's a little bit about Hope's Front Door. Woodridge was, in 2016, was the second largest community that Hope's Front Door helped, with Westmont just behind it. I understand, talking to Janelle, that Westmont has now moved ahead of Woodridge, and we're very close in supporting almost 1,000 families a year in this community. 1,000 individuals, I beg your pardon. Yeah. It could be anywhere from 200 to 500 families. So we invite you to join us October 5th, downtown Westmont. I know you know where you are. You know where it is. So hope and enjoy some good food. Thank you for your time.
And do you work with the People's Resource Center here in Westmont?
Right, we do work with them. They will refer people to our organization for things that they don't provide, like our financial literacy program, transportation vouchers, and then in turn, we will refer people to them for like rental assistance and things like that.
Yeah, good, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank
Any
you.
questions? If not,
Great.
thank you.
We'll see you the 5th.
Yeah, see you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Does any of the trustees want any of the items removed from the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'll just mention on the consent agenda, at the end of the consent agenda is a proclamation. We do have a visitor in the audience, Katie Staffelt from is it Chicago chapter of the American Payroll Association. So we can read it within the consent agenda or pull it out separately, your preference.
I'd like a motion to pull it out, please.
So move Guzzo.
Second, Barry.
All those, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
We'll do that after the consent agenda, so if I can ask you to read it, Manager May.
Thank you. So therefore, the consent agenda consists of, firstly, the village board minutes, or to consider approving the minutes of the following meetings, both the special meeting for the Sister Cities ceremony, the signing ceremony that was held on August 14, 2017, as well as the village board meeting held August 17, 2017. Next, we have the July financial report. Board to consider a motion to accept the financial report submitted for the month of July 2017. Next is finance ordinance number 9 in the amount of $897,235.37. We have 3 purchase orders tonight. First one's for R.W. Dunham & Company, $24,920. This represents additional work that was done. It says Birch Point lot resurfacing, but this is in conjunction with the Morning Glory circle work that we were doing. 2 things with this. One, it's a simultaneous approval. It's also on the finance ordinance. And secondly, this is 100% recovered from Birch Point condominiums. In fact, we got it in advance, so we've already received and we're just passing it through on that contract. Second purchase order, Client First Consulting Group, LLC, $71,436, represents the implementation services for the ERP project. And lastly, CDW Government Incorporated, $24,185.63. That's the annual Microsoft licensing, the enterprise licensing fee. That brings the total of the purchase orders to $120,541.63. And it totals with the purchase orders and finance ordinance number 9, $1,017,777. The
Can I have a motion?
There's
to-
one more.
Oh, is there one more?
event, community events, leaving the proclamation off with the community events, we have the U.S. Olympic Luge Team tryouts. Board to consider an ordinance approving the following requests for the 2017 U.S. Luge Team tryouts to be held on September 16th and 17th on South Cass Avenue. First, community events permit. Second, live amplified sound permit. And thirdly, closure of Cass Avenue from 55th Street to West Dallas Street. That does complete the consent
Now I'll
agenda.
entertain a motion to approve as read.
So moved, Little?
Second.
Trustee Nero. On the question. Anybody? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes?
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Now we'll go to the item that was removed, the proclamation for 2017 National Payroll Week. And I think Spencer Parker is going to do the honors to read this to us.
I think he got volunteered.
Proclamation reads, whereas the American Payroll Association and its more than 21,000 members have launched a nationwide public awareness campaign that pays tribute to the more than 150 million people who work in the United States and the payroll professionals who support the American system by paying wages, reporting worker earnings, and withholding federal employment taxes. And whereas payroll professionals in the village of Westmont play a key role in maintaining the economic health of Westmont, carrying out such diverse tasks as paying into the unemployment insurance system, providing information for child support enforcement, and carrying out tax withholding, reporting, and depositing. And whereas payroll departments collectively spend more than $2.2 trillion annually complying with myriad federal and state wage and tax laws, and whereas payroll professionals play an increasingly important role ensuring the economic security of the American families by helping to identify non-custodial parents and make sure they comply with their child support mandates, and whereas payroll professionals have become increasingly proactive in educating both the business community and the public at large about the payroll tax withholding systems, and whereas payroll professionals meet regularly with federal and state tax officials to discuss both improving compliance with government procedures and how compliance can be achieved at less cost to both government and businesses, and whereas the week in which Labor Day falls has been proclaimed National Payroll Week to give additional support to the efforts of the people who work in Westmont, Illinois, and of the payroll profession, therefore be it resolved, Ronald J. Gunter, by virtue of the authority vested in him as mayor of the village of Westmont, Illinois, does hereby proclaim the first full week of September as payroll week for the village of Westmont, Illinois.
I have a motion.
Motion to approve, Barry.
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second to approve. Seeing no questions, I'd ask for roll call.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Addington?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passed. I understand someone's here tonight.
Yes.
And if you have anything you'd like to say, you're more than welcome to go up to the,
You have to give a speech, it was
Yeah.
required.
Speeches. But I've been a resident of Westmont for 40 years, and I'm very proud to live in this town, and to have you people proclaim National Payroll Week for us and support us. There's over 200 members throughout the Chicagoland area, and we really appreciate your support in what we do. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
very
you.
important to me.
Thank you.
And I will just add that we have been very grateful for the support of the American Payroll Association. I know as we utilize their services, they've been able to help us figure out tough issues that have come up with payroll and help us figure out how to do things, the right way so that we don't run into liability issues going forward. So it's been a great resource for us as a village. And, I know we're
And our
very
staff.
grateful for all of our employees, for our staff, and our accountant who handles payroll has told us before that she's the reason people come to work.
That is very true. If every payroll person throughout the United States for 1 week didn't do our jobs, we could shut down the economy.
Well, thank you. And Spencer has the proclamation for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll move on to new business, the Fall Wine Tasting Festival. Board to consider an ordinance approving the following requests for the 2017 Fall Wine Tasting Festival to be held on October the 7th and 8th, 2017, on West Quincy Street. 1, community events permit. 2, live amplified sound permit. And 3, partial street closure of West Quincy Street. I've got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern to give us some additional information.
Good evening, Mayor, and thank you, Village Board. This is a new event, first time held, but it'll be modeled after the Harvest Ale Fest from 2014, which was more beer. This is a wine tasting festival. All alcohol-related details are being reviewed and confirmed by staff, working closely with Larry McIntyre. And this is a joint project between Shaw Media, Dulce's Restaurant, and the Westmont Special Events Corporation. Our recommendation from staff is to approve this. Mainly for you tonight, with the main thing what you're going to be approving is that there will be a road closure. This will only be on a Saturday. It'll be on a Saturday afternoon, so there'll be minimal impact to traffic. They are going to work with locals like Taco Express and other businesses as well to make sure they're aware of it. And if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen the final plan, but I believe that the drive-through for the train will remain open, I believe. Is that, yes. Yeah. So if cars really had to get through and around, they can. And just go through slowly. Not easy to say. And so I have with me Greg Notbush from Dulce's, who will explain the event in greater detail. I just wanted to add anything on the traffic, make sure we will have the road closed. There will be enough notice put out. And then in the future, there'll be another thing that I'll put on the consent agenda for the board to consider, but not on the agenda for tonight.
Chief, a wristband situation like cruising nights, is that?
We met this morning and spoke about that. Yeah, they had first had recommended, and Shaw Media had recommended like a card, like at the Ale Fest, you would get a punch each time you do a purchase. And we're going to set restrictions on how many purchases inside a size a customer can have, like the Ale Fest. I'm a proponent of the wristband, so that way I just can't take my card and give you the card and kind of, okay, here, have my stuff. It'd be the wristband, it'd be some kind of markings or punchings on the wristband. So you would use up your initial servings, and then you can buy a one-time shot of more servings, another wristband that they would control. So yes, that, and again, the alcohol will have to stay there. I'll let Greg talk, but there's going to be an event, but I'm a proponent of the wristband rather than a card or a lanyard type system. Okay, and I'll give you Greg, so if you want to explain that, board.
Good evening, board members. Good to see you again, as always. I'm Greg Notbush here on behalf of Dulce's Restaurant and Westmont Special Events, and have been given permission to speak on behalf of Shaw Media as well. This event was brought to our attention, actually brought to the attention of WSC by Shaw Media. Shaw Media obviously is a community publication, and they're looking to kind of grow roots within the community and become more actively involved with community events and promoting community events, not just being, a publication for that. So within this is something that they have done before in other communities and has been very successful. It is a wine tasting event. It is a ticketed event, so Shaw Media will be promoting this via various sources, their newsprint, their social media, their email blasts within a large radius, advertising this as a Westmont event that is sponsored by Dulce's, Shaw Media, and Westmont Special Events. We plan on having upwards of around 30 to 35 wine varietals for people to come and taste and hopefully purchase while they're there, as well as the other reason why they want to do it in a more public location like this in the downtown area rather than having it inside of a liquor store or a closed environment is to have people from the community see it, understand that it's something that the community supports, and they like to try and actually make this an annual event going on in the future as well. It will be closed. We will have a tent out there, same tent company that does the Taste of Westmont, and that's no street penetrations using the water barrels. An enclosed environment, again, ticket event, they'll have wristbands, and able to enjoy some fine wines that they might not be able to find in other places and purchase them, and also be out in the downtown Westmont area and hopefully be able to stop by the other businesses that are there as well.
Will you have food?
We will have some food available, yeah. Kind of a limited appetizer type of thing. Most of people who are out tasting wines generally don't have a big meal before they keep the palate clean, but hopefully right afterwards, because we're ending it right around that dinner time, that the goal is hopefully they'll disperse and then kind of, patronize the local restaurants as well. Not just ours, but hopefully everyone's.
The good thing is, at least the local paper, Shaw Media, will have one article about from Westmont. Your event,
let's see
we'd
how
like
they
to see
ride it.
more.
Yeah.
I had a drum, I do a rim shot. But
Yeah, we met this morning with the representative. They're trying to get more community involvement. They're trying to get more involved in their communities. I did not bring that up, but we will take
Thanks a
that
lot.
back. No, we'll take it back. But he did say that they're trying to get more involved in the communities, and as you said, Mayor, hopefully that will get us this one article.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Barry?
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second to approve. On the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We look forward to the
Could be
7th
fun.
and 8th.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All
Sounds
right,
great.
thank you. Moving on, property transfer to the Park District. Board to consider a resolution approving the transfer of properties to the Westmont Park District in furtherance of the 1988 intergovernmental agreement. And I'm going to have to call upon Attorney Zemanek to explain this.
Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor mentioned, there was a 1988 intergovernmental agreement where a list of properties were to be transferred from the village to the Park District. Most of those transfers occurred. We discovered there were 3 properties that were never transferred. Been working with the Park District and their attorney to finalize this transfer. They wanted title insurance for the properties, so we procured a title policy. The Park District's going to pay for that. One of the conditions of the title policy is that they have a resolution from the village approving the transfer of land. So this is really complying with the title company request and the Local Government Property Transfer Act, which says any transfer between governmental entities needs approval by a resolution. I'm not sure if the old IGA would suffice, so we're cleaning that up.
And again, this is the, in the Ashford subdivision, Mertz Park, and
the open
detention,
space
open
in the
space, and
northeast.
in the Richmond, and then the pond at Furnace Park.
Yes.
So do I have a motion?
So moved, Barry.
Second, Addington.
Made and seconded. On the question. It only took 30 years, but
Should the last park director have done this? Is that?
well, you know, that's what the current one says. The, on the question, this was something that was done fast and it fell between the cracks. So with us going through and looking, the park going through and looking for titles, because we didn't want to be surprised again, it came up that we've been operating, the park's been operating for years. So it's just one of those that fell, and we're cleaning it up and getting it right. So,
We make one mistake.
yeah.
All those years.
All those
Come
years,
after you.
yeah. Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to new business C, intergovernmental agreement to Page County NPDES. Board to consider an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement, an IGA, with DuPage County for the implementation of the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System program in the village of Westmont. Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. This NPDES permit requirement development, implementation, and enforcement of stormwater management programs designed to reduce the discharge of pollutants from small municipal storm sewer systems. Both DuPage County and Westmont are responsible for such requirements. Both DuPage County and Westmont have determined that we could realize cost savings by utilizing county equipment, vehicles, and personnel to complete these minimum control measures. These services will continue at no direct charge to the village of Westmont. What the county helps us do, besides let us borrow equipment and other things, is they really help us with training. Some of the requirements that we have to do is we have to take classes, and the county offers classes to us at no charge, and that helps us with this agreement and this program to make sure that we have the amount of hours that we need to have. So that's just one of the small things that they do for us, but there's a lot of great things that the county does for us with stormwater management.
Do I have a motion?
So moved, Little?
Second, Addington.
On the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D. Building regulations text amendment. Board to consider ordinance approving a text amendment to Chapter 18, Section 18-65 of the Municipal Code regarding allowing masonry waivers to be administratively approved. And we got Director Ziegler.
Thank you, Mayor. We recommend amending the municipal code to allow this administrative waiver. We've been working with the Fire Department, Chief Weiss and Larry Kaufman, and they both approve of the language because it ensures that building code requirements and fire code requirements are met prior to us being able to allow a masonry waiver. We've recommended about 10 masonry waivers the past couple of years to the village board, and this seems like a straightforward request.
Have a motion?
So move Guzzo?
Second, Barry.
Motion made and second. On the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business E, amending ordinance to Page County prevailing wage. Board to consider an ordinance to amend the June 2017 ordinance to ascertain the prevailing wages. And I got Attorney Zemanek.
When the board approved the prevailing wage ordinance in June of this year, the last published prevailing wages were July of 2015. The state had not updated them in several years, I think due to the budget impasse. They've since passed a budget. They since updated their prevailing wages. This ordinance updates that, and there's language now in the ordinance that will be included in future ordinances that says if the state updates periodically prevailing wages, those updated wages automatically apply to Public Works. So we don't have to come back every time.
And even though if we didn't pass it, we still have to, that's the state or.
It still applies, but since we specifically adopted the July 2015, I thought for record keeping, it would be good to approve this.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Barry.
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and second. Any additional comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to miscellaneous. Anybody got any items they'd like to?
I do. I have one. I forgot to tell you all this earlier, but Westmont will be hosting the first DuPage County Municipal Clerks meeting next Wednesday. So any of you that would like to pop in and say hi, I know I'm very proud of my board, so, and my manager and my mayor and my attorney, everybody, but
Do you know where that's at?
yes, it's going to be at Las Palmas.
Nice. Okay, we're in now.
Yeah. That's on the 6th at what time?
We start, we'll have our social starting at 5:30.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn the closed session to discuss matters so permitted and may act upon such matters upon returning to open session. I need a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following. 1, pending litigation in the case of Sach Diva versus Westmont pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. 2, purchase of property for the use of village pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act. And 3, review of closed session minutes pursuant to Section 2C21 of the Open Meetings Act. Do I have a motion?
Motion by Addington to approve going into executive session for the 3 items so stated.
Second, Barker.
Motion is made and second to go in executive session. Roll call, please.
Trustee Addington.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Okay, this part of the meeting is going to be adjourned. When we come back after executive session, there will not be any further business. So at this point, we'll go to executive session. Thank you.